You are working as a locum in a surgery and you are asked to call the following patient during your Tuesday morning surgery at 10:30 a.m.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is that Mr. Marks?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, hi there. It's Dr. Jackson here from the surgery. I've been asked to give you a call this morning.
Yeah, thanks for calling me back, Doctor.
That's all right. Tell me what's going on. I've had a message that you've had some diarrhea or something. Can you give me a bit of background about why you called us today?
Yeah, it was last week. I had the trots for a couple of days, and it wasn't very nice. And I missed one of my court appearances that I had to go to.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that. If it's all right with you, but first of all, I'd just like to find out a little bit more about what you mean by having the trots. Can you tell me a little bit more about the illness that you had last week?
A bit about what?
About the illness that you had last week, the diarrhea that you had?
Yeah, I had diarrhea. That means I had to go to the toilet a lot, doesn't it?
Right, okay. And when was that?
That was last week. It was Tuesday and Wednesday last week. You know, I couldn't go to the courts, could I? Because I just had to keep going to the toilet all the time. I couldn't sit down for more than half an hour. I had to keep running to the toilet.
Okay, sure. And at the time when you had the diarrhea, were you at home or what were you doing?
Well, I had to stay in, didn't I? I couldn't go anywhere because I had to keep finding out if I had gone anywhere. I had to keep looking for a toilet.
Okay. And are you better completely from the diarrhea now?
Yeah, I'm better.
Okay.
But
And
I wasn't good enough to go to the courts last week, so I had to miss my court case.
okay, you keep bringing up the court case that you had last week. What was that regarding?
Well, I don't know if I want to go into that, Doc, but it was pretty serious stuff, and what I need is a sick note from you to say that I had diarrhea, and that's why I couldn't go to the court.
Okay, Mr. Marks. I appreciate that obviously, it was difficult for you to get to the court last week. I probably should say at this stage that I am going to have difficulty giving you a sick note to cover your illness for last week.
Well, why is that then? You're a doctor, you just have to write it out, don't you, on a piece of paper?
Yeah, absolutely. When you were actually poorly, did you make contact with any doctors at all?
Well, no, I didn't, because I just thought, it would pass, but it didn't pass, did it, Doc? And I couldn't get out the door, so I couldn't go to the court.
Sure. So you were pretty laid up for a couple of days, and I appreciate that must have been really nasty for you. But it simply remains that because I didn't speak to you at the time of your illness, I can't write a note, what we call retrospectively, which means for a period back in time when you were poorly, which I didn't actually know about at the time when you were ill.
Yeah, but I'm telling you now I was ill, ain't I? I'm telling you now, look, I had diarrhea, couldn't get to the court, so I need you to write me a sick note, which is pretty bloody easy for you, isn't it? You just got to write it out and give it to me, then I can give it to the courts. Else, otherwise, I'm gonna be in trouble, ain't I?
Okay, and I appreciate that must be incredibly stressful for you, Mr. Marks, and I'm really sorry about that. But it simply remains, unfortunately, the law that I cannot
Yeah, but
write.
you don't know the seriousness of the situation, do you, Doc? Because, the serious, it's like I had to miss the other one, didn't I? So this is the second one I missed. So, I'm really in deep, how did the French say it? Deep in the mire, Doc, unless you give me a sick note, which, I'm entitled to do. I pay my taxes and everything, and all you've got to do is write it out, ain't you?
Okay, and I can appreciate that this is obviously making you angry and frustrated, and I'm very sorry about that. Unfortunately, it doesn't change what is the law that I am not able to write you a note for an illness.
What law?
We, as doctors, we've got rules that we have to abide by, one of which does state that we're not able to give sick notes to patients unless we've seen them or had some communication with them during the time of their illness.
I couldn't phone the doctors, could I, to say I had diarrhea?
Why was that?
Because my phone ran out of power, didn't it?
Okay, and I mean, just for future reference though, in order for us to be able to provide you with a sick note, we do need to make contact with you.
Well, it's not good in the future, is it? So I've got to cover my arse now, haven't I?
I'm really sorry to hear that obviously you were so unwell last week. And for the reasons I've already told you, I just simply can't give you a sick note. One thing potentially I could offer you is maybe that I could just write a note that you've been in touch with me today, give you a letter on some of our surgery's headed paper, so that you've been in touch with us today to tell me that you had diarrhea at the time you were meant to be in courts last week.
So what are you saying there, Doc? You're saying that, you'll give me a letter saying that I had diarrhoea.
What I can do is say that you've been in touch with me today to tell me that you were ill last week with the diarrhoea on the days that you were meant to be in court. There is a charge for that, which is £15, which is...
Well, hang on. So, like, what you're saying is you ain't going to give me a sick note,
Yeah.
but you'll write me a letter saying that I phoned you saying I had diarrhoea last week and I've got to give you 15 quid.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Mr. Marks. Yeah, I'm saying that what I can do for you today is to write down exactly a record of the facts, which are that you phoned me today with the information that you were poorly last week. I can write that down, and as I say, there is a flat fee for that of £15.
15 quid, right? Just for writing a letter. How long is it going to take you to do it?
Well,
it only takes you a minute.
I'm afraid that's just the surgery's policy that we do charge for that, an administration charge for that. But as I say, Mr. Marks, you could potentially...
But will the courts accept that, will they?
I'm afraid I'm not sure about that. If you pass it on to your legal representative, I'm sure they'll give you some more advice. But I'm very happy to do that for you if you'd like me to.
Oh, right. Hang on. So you definitely won't do me a sick note?
I'm afraid I can't do that for the reasons that we've already discussed, but I'm very happy to do this letter for you.
I ain't got no bloody choice, have I? Yeah, right, okay, Doc. Yeah, whatever, mate. I'll take. Yeah, send me the letter and I'll give you the money. Where have I got to come and collect it? Have I?
I'll dictate the letter for you after the surgery today, and then it will be printed out for you later on this afternoon, so you can come and collect it later on today. All right.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's better than a kick in the teeth, isn't it?
All right, Mr. Marks.
Yeah, all right, then I'll do that then, Doc.
Thanks very much.
Good stuff. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It is important to remain calm during difficult consultations with angry patients. Acknowledge the patient's feelings and concerns, and be empathetic. When you are unable to meet a patient's demand, putting the focus on a third party, for example, the system, such as the guidelines, the PCT, or the law, can be a useful technique to deflect anger. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated. Record facts only, and do not get drawn into discussion about a subject that is beyond your expertise, for example, legal issues.